Welcome to a very quick abridged version of Big Bun
Uh,
Game Club. Uh, we had a lot of technical difficulties that I almost thought was gonna be the end of me doing anything with videos because for some reason, like, OBS decided to put my desktop capture as my microphone and only my microphone. I had to restart the whole computer for it to realize I had other channels I wanted to use. It was a pain in the ass to do it, but I got it. I got it done. So we're talking about ghostrunner for this week. I've gotten pretty far. I've been playing almost like every day, and today I played a lot of it. It is, and I've been loving this game more and more each time I play it. It is so much fun just seeing how what they layer upon you. It kind of reminds me of Stealth Bastard. With it shows you something like introduces a new mechanic, and then they start mixing it up on you as you go on. I just love the momentum you get just through every kill, and it was something that I felt that they tried to do in Hotline Miami and Ruiner, and I just wasn't really. I would always just do a very like slow run just to figure out how to get through it and just go that way. Well, here I found myself being more maneuverable than I have been in those kind of games.
right. Yeah. So my experience is I've only played like an hour,
Oh,
um, and I've only gotten through the first level. I don't know about you, but I'm not great at first-person perspective games. So it takes me a lot to catch my bearings in it. And this game is all about like precision, um, and like making sure your placement is good is good
yeah.
in like so I have a lot of trouble, and I need to just once I get used to it, I think I'll get better. I need to get better at like dashing and stopping, because I'll dash, I'll
Ooh.
kill someone, and then run right off the platform. You know what
It
I mean?
yeah, because it's funny you say that. I had the same issue, and I'm
Yeah.
assuming you use keyboard and mouse or using a controller
No, which I might have to switch to keyboard and mouse because it seems
because
like this is like a game that's
yeah,
better suited.
because I was playing this game thinking, man, this is one of those games that is just suited for keyboard and mouse because there's a part I just did today that I thought was just that I thought I was gonna stop playing. It was like this major tower boss fight, and you have to do, like you get a grapple later on. So for that is
Well,
like the
you get that in the second level, right?
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you probably already got it. They give that to you very early on. I just didn't
Yeah.
remember where, but you have to do that. You have to do a lot of like grappling around, and there's these lasers, and there's all these multi-level lasers. You have to kind of maneuver around, dash through, and all this. And I was just having a hard time getting through that. And then there's like a second phase that was a pain in the ass. The third phase was super easy, which was just like, why was this the third phase when the first two phases were like insanely hard? Maybe it's just because they knew you would be exhausted by doing all this platforming to go to the top of the
Yeah.
tower. But that part was driving me up the wall. It was just like I swear I'm jumping. I'm trying to wall run, and sometimes he just isn't wall running. There's these area of effect attacks that just I can't jump out of the way in time sometimes, whatever. But I didn't. But over that, I got through that, and you do leave that factory setting you're in, and the setting gets way better. It's like they throw you into like a neon city, doing all these cool like other platforming stuff. They start introducing a lot of more hectic enemies. Like you find one that does close quarter combat attacks that'll lunge towards you, and you can kind of like use your sword to chop them before they land, or backdash out, wait for them to land, then just swipe your sword. But the game
Is
does
backdash a different ability, or is that just like your regular dash
your regular
backwards?
dash, and then you're
Oh,
just
okay.
doing like back. Uh, I do think that it does a good job. Like you you'll die a lot in this game. Like the whole point is just dying a lot. Like the mission I was just describing, my death count in that one was 560 something, and it was insane. But
Yeah.
I stuck with it. It's really the one game where it's like I don't get that mad about like I get mad when I die a lot, but it's not like it doesn't demotivate me, I guess. It like the only time I
Well,
was thinking of like stop playing when I was doing that tower boss fight was just like just out of exhaustion. Like maybe I'll come back to it another day, but other than that, like I've always just been kind of sticking through it.
but that's because it's like it's a little bit jarring almost at first because when you die, it's so unceremonious. It's just like retry, and you just it's like you're right back to where you were. It's like the game doesn't even like reset anything. It just like places the enemies back in, puts you back where you started. It's just like dying is like it's it's like you didn't even die. It's like you just try again. Because
Yeah.
like because even like I swear sometimes I'll mess a jump up and then I'll just immediately mess it up right again. Like I'll jump off a wall, miss the wall, and be like, oh shit, and just do
Yeah.
that like 3 times in
And that's
a
kind of why
row.
it reminded me of Stealth Bastard a lot because
Yeah, yeah,
it does a good job just making you just get used to the formula it wants you to learn and pick up on. But this one I think is a
yeah.
little more liberating because there's multiple ways you could go through each area. It starts to have branching paths to do different directions where you want to go, especially once you go to the Neon City. That kind of introduces a little different little nuances to where you're going. But I the only thing that I don't really like is the story is so hard to pay attention to. Like it's this big like corrupt government or whatever. It's like okay, but there's nothing really memorable with the guy who's talking to you half the time. The only thing I get is that he doesn't want you to waste your time with the resistance. Just get to Mara and that's it. It's like okay, like it's a very simple
So I
story,
don't
I
know.
think.
I don't know if this is on purpose, and maybe I'm just like I don't know. Maybe I'm just weirded out. But what's that character's name? Ghost? Is that the guy who's the guy that's talking to you in your head?
Oh, I don't even know his name.
It's something like maybe Ghost.
Because I,
The guy that's like immediately like break me out of my jail cell,
yeah,
and like
I know who you're talking about. Just that I don't think he's Ghost because I think you're the Ghost Runner.
oh maybe his name's Whisper. I think that's what his name is.
Yeah, you know it probably is. It
Yeah,
probably is Whisper.
yeah. I gotta say that guy immediately made me uncomfortable. Like I'm like I don't want to help this guy. Like he's like in. I was like whatever this motherfucker did to get in prison, he did that shit, and he probably deserves to be there
Yeah,
because he
like
just made me very uncomfortable. Like the way he talks to you.
yeah, he
He's like,
just feels like
hope
he's
you
gonna
wake the fuck
betray you
up.
probably.
He just seems like he's not doing something good. But I have no reason to believe this because I've only played the first level, and he's just like,
Yeah.
"You gotta break me out," blah blah blah, and it's like the people are like, "You'll be no you like the thing is over the loudspeaker are like, oh, if you're out right now, you're a resistance member, blah blah blah, we'll kill you, yada yada yada." So it's like, I guess you're part of this resistance, but this dude makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know if you've met him yet or saved him from his jail cell.
Well, that's like the beginning of the game. You get him
Right.
out, and then the rest of the game, he's talking to you. And as you're like talking to these other resistance members, he just kind of whispers to you, saying like, "I don't think you need to be wasting your time with these people. I mean, you're capable of doing all these things. Why do you care about them? Like, you just go straight to
Oh yeah.
Mara. Like, he
Okay,
really
so I
wants
think
you to get there."
maybe he is supposed to be a dirtbag because, um, like I don't know, he just something
the
about him immediately struck me as off-putting. Like
Yeah.
once he started saying some stuff, so I was like, I
It,
don't know.
I just like the aesthetic of this game. Like that, my main appeal, like why I picked this game specifically, was just I wanted to experience because I saw some of the gameplay and it looked a lot of fun, but I didn't know if it was gonna be like insanely difficult where I couldn't get through it or what. But I just loved the art style of the game and just kind of how quick and satisfying the kills looked. And the kills do feel satisfying when you're going through them, and they give you more abilities as you go. And I love the leveling up system. I love that it's like a little
Hmm.
Tetris board. You have to match. You have to like fit in each chip. I don't know if you made it that far when they introduced the.
No,
Oh, okay.
I got to the first level and I got to where you got the grappling hook, and I was like already like I suck at this already, so I'm not about to do because like also the controls to me are not intuitive. I'm thinking about maybe changing my button mapping because it's like jump is okay. So I'm using an Xbox 360 controller. So do I have one of those here?
Well, I have a
So it's
Xbox
like
One control, so I think I know the
oh,
set of.
Xbox, all right, Xbox One controller,
It's like
right?
the
So
bumpers are the
it's
jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
and
the bumpers jump.
it gets like really wonky too. You get like I think that they should have made the jump the face buttons because like they don't really
I
do
agree.
anything. I don't know why they made the bumpers the jump.
So yeah, that's kind of what I usually, even if I hate a game's control scheme, I try to stick with it because it's like the developers made it that way for a reason. Like maybe there's a reason that this is going to be more intuitive, but I don't like it so far. So maybe I'll just switch
Mhm.
it and see if that makes my experience different because like I immediately think A should be jump because that's what it usually is in a first person shooter, right?
Yeah, I mean they usually like I mean they do give you the option to button map, just in case if you didn't like the
Yeah.
default as well. So I don't think it's necessarily not in the developer's intentions one or the other, but
Yeah,
uh
but the default I'm saying the default console scheme is there for a reason, right? Like they made it that way because it's something.
the only thing I noticed,
Um
I think like Y is like a taunt because he does it like a sword trick when you press Y. And it's like,
yeah, I
oh, that's
noticed
kind
that.
of kind of funny. The other thing you do get later on, you get to there's a skill you could deflect bullets back at the enemy as well,
Oh, nice. That'll be great.
and it's I like it, but it that feels so wonky to me because I get you have to aim like where the bullet is and where you want it to go, which is like okay, I get it, but it's like I feel like sometimes it hits, but like sometimes it's just not in the right hitbox, so it's like it hits my hand, so it counts as a hit. So it's like okay, well you get hit,
Right.
but then it's like okay, well how about now? It's like oh well it's just a little bit above it, so that's like a hit hits a sword, so it bounces back. So it just feels kind of wonky, so I don't really like using it. But once you do land it, it is so satisfying just to throw him back at him.
Right.
So I do like that
But
kind
you
of
have to
stuff.
like you have to like actually aim to do it.
Yeah, like you have to aim. It's not like you're holding onto the bullet and then you're gonna be doing it to do it all at once. So you have to aim for the bullet and aim for the guy at the same time before you swing. So it's really
Yeah.
like you have to be on your game with that. You do get an ability way later where you can push back projectiles to the enemy as well. The first one you're probably gonna run into, I think it slows down time and you can kill three like multiple enemies at once if you aim correctly.
Cool.
So you get like so
Nice.
there is ways like at first it seems very overwhelming like just how much it expects you to be like very precise, but it does slowly introduce ways that it can be kind of forgiving with how with your precision more and more.
Now, I didn't think it was I didn't think it had to be very precise with the sword play. It was mostly like
Oh, the
where you
platforming.
position your character. Like, yeah, when I swing the sword, I'm killing guys that I don't think I should have been killing. You know what I mean? Like, I just get kind of close, and that sword will just take their head right off. But like, the position of the character is what where you need to be precise. I think.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
and
I've
it's really difficult. Oh,
I was gonna say like the wall running is like I think one of the issues that might be similar to what you're having because there are times where I think I should be wall running and he doesn't, so he just falls straight down because I'm not angling correctly, and that is just
absolutely.
it's like the tower boss fight. Once you get to that, the mission's called like the gatekeeper, but that whole mission it's like it expects you to do these wall runnings precisely, quickly, and to get through without getting hit and all that kind of stuff, trying to go up. And it's just like, okay, I just need a wall run. He's not wall running. I fall to the earth to the ground. It's like, okay, I'll just restart. Fuck this. Like it's just kind of silly shit like that.
Yeah,
So, and that's where a lot of my
yeah.
deaths
It's
are
like
coming from too. I die a lot to bullshit platforming. So it's like, whatever. It is what it is.
yeah. Now that I think about it, I think I'll have a much easier time with this if RB is not jump because the hardest thing for me is like pressing RB and then pressing LB to dash. It's like it
Yeah.
just my brain doesn't like it. It doesn't work.
It's like doing like
Um,
two separate, like two sides of the hemispheres, like doing like two different things, and like I can't remember what it's called, but it's like split brain
the,
almost. You're
the
not
thing
thinking
that
both
gets
sides or
about me
whatever.
is that there's such different actions. Like it's like the dash, and I almost want to map the dash to the stick, like press the stick down. I think I'd like that better.
Oh, well, that's so the abilities you get uses the left stick.
Oh, there's
for
gonna be.
that. So,
Okay.
but that one you
Well,
could
that was the other
map that
thing
to
I worried
the right
about.
stick maybe. But
What's that?
you might be able to map that to the right stick maybe. But uh, yeah, I think like the platforming is the only issue. It just feels like, and I think that like it as much as a nuisance it is. I do think that how quickly you could restart and how decent for the most part the checkpoints are. It's like, okay, well, I could stomach these bullshit deaths because it can just restart me quickly. I don't have to sit through a loading time like that. That was one of the things I despised in fucking Bloodstained, that I was just losing my patience. It was like, all right, I didn't jump in time. All right, time to sit through like 5 minutes of loading. Not 5 minutes, but like a long ass loading screen. It's like I don't want to play this right now. Like half the reason why I dropped the game is just that alone. So while this game, it's like, oh, I died like 500 times on this boss fight. Well, I'll keep trying. Why not? It's like,
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like, yeah. I need to get better at. This is not a game for beginners at first person games
yeah.
because like, and I wonder how similar this is to that game. I don't know what it's called, but it was basically like a parkour game and it was all first person. Like you
Mirror's
ran
Edge.
Mirror's Edge. Is it anything like that? Did you play that?
I played it long ago when it first came out, and I didn't. I kind of liked it, but I kind of dropped it because I didn't know where. I think it was either I didn't know where I was going, or I just kept dying. I was like, I don't need to play this anymore. But I do want to go back to it because like I played the PS3 version, and I think the PS3 version is like the worst version to play. I think the 360 one was the lead version.
Definitive one.
Yeah. But I heard the
Um,
Catalyst was whatever. Like that one kind of televisioned you into like pigeonholed you into like just using guns, and it's like, oh, okay. Like the other game kind of
oh
left as an
really?
option, while this one's like, all right, you got a gun, shoot him up. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I heard. That's another game that's been like that I just skipped because I just didn't care.
I just wonder if it was like from what you did play, did you find it to be similar at all to this, or is it very different?
I kinda. I think it is. It is similar, but I think this game is way better because I think this has better like action to it.
Yeah.
Like Mirror's Edge is good, but I think Mirror's Edge is better in the sense of world exploring, maybe like maybe more on the platforming side. It's a little bit better, but I don't know. I would probably need to play it again to get a better opinion of it.
Yeah. It's funny that it I was hoping we'd play a game that was not similar to Stealth Bastard, but it's very funny that this kind of is uh
I
like
didn't
it's
even
just
think it.
level.
Yeah, I didn't even think it was gonna be similar. It was just by circumstance that it just happens to be like, okay, well, here's a stage. You beat the stage. Congratulations. But the stages do change in length, and it's. But yeah, like I didn't even think it was. I was playing it thinking about. It, I was like, oh, this is like Self Bastard. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well,
It's not no problem with it, but it's like
yeah,
it's not even similar. Like I wouldn't recommend it to the same people, but it's like the structure of it being like kind of arcadey and like kind of like there's this other mode called Kill Rush mode, I think, where
yeah.
it's like your time like that's what you play when like you get really good and you just know how to breeze through the levels because like it's timed based on that. So it's like it's the same style of like you have a stage, you have tools to get through that stage, and then like the optimal is you figure out how to do perfect through the stage.
Yeah,
It's like
it's like Ruiner in that regard as well. Ruiner had the same kind of setup that you go through each stage, and you have like a stage clear thing as well, and they start to introduce other stuff in that game. You have a skill tree, etc. There, once you beat the game, there's a mode where you just kind of do this like it's like a Bloody Palace kind of mode where you're just going through like boss waves, pretty much. So I do like that, and Ruiner is actually decent. I don't know if you've played it, but there's a lot of secret bosses in that game as well that you can kind of go out your way
yeah,
to
no, I've
find.
never heard of it until you talked about it right now.
Oh, you should check that game out. It's really good. It's one of my favorite
Okay.
games. It is a blast. It's a blast to play.
Okay.
Oh man, you have like all these cool weapons to your disposal. Oh man, I could go on and on about Ruiner. But
Okay, I'll check it out.
yeah, I love the color scheme too. It's red and like black, and oh my god, I can gush about that game all day.
All
uh,
right, I definitely gotta give it a try then.
yeah. Oh,
Would you say it's this because like this is like 3D Hotline Miami, basically? I think.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like the melee just feels just like right out of Hotline Miami. Just like the same like kind of like fast
Getting it
action.
done.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just the gore, just everything about it is just it's really one of my
One hit
favorite.
death,
Huh?
stealth, like all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just man, it's just red. I love it. I don't know if you've seen these enemies, but there's enemies that like have shields, and then like there's like you have to kill like the generator for the shields, and then you can kill them. And there's so many. There was like a few floors when I saw that where I thought I can't beat this. I do all this wall running, I do all this stuff, and then I would just beat it. And I was like, what the fuck? Like it was this uh like I understand like I always appreciate like from software like Demon Souls, Dark Souls, whatever, out of like people like the challenge and overcoming that challenge. But like I played Dark Souls 2, Skull of the Old Sin, just because it was on sale, so I wanted to try it out to see if I could get any further in it. And I couldn't get far in it, but it was like okay, it's like whatever. But this I kind of get on a more visceral kind of level where it's like okay, I can get through this, but now I see like you see a challenge and once you beat it, it's just like you can't believe you did it. And I love the last hit is a slow motion kind of like uh satisfaction with it
Wait,
too.
in this game?
Yeah,
Or are you talking
like
about Ruin?
I'm talking about
I don't know.
ghostrunner. If you go like they give
I
you
don't
this
remember getting a
wave,
slow motion.
yeah, dude, it's like as you're landing the hit, it just slows down for like a second, and you just see like the bite is like, and then it just continues.
Are you sure that's not just on like the boss stages?
No, no, I think it's for every like enemy area. Like if you just kill the last enemy. Now that I say you can pay attention to it, and maybe you'll see it next time.
I was gonna say maybe I have a setting off or something.
Maybe, maybe it's a thing they throw in later, like in major waves, because maybe you're in like
Well,
the
that's what I'm wondering.
yeah. So
Maybe it's
maybe
later on.
yeah, but it gets like
Well,
so
like I said,
satisfying.
what? Go ahead.
It's so satisfying just going through that game.
Yeah, I have to say I haven't gotten very far, so
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
just catching my bearings on it.
I have played this game
Um,
a lot more than I thought I would. Usually, I try to go like bit by bit every day, but there it is. It started that way, and then the more I play, is like the longer I play, the more stages I went through. It's like, I just found myself just keep playing this game, and it's like this game is just so. It just kind of struck a chord with me, which I didn't think because I don't
yeah,
like first person platforming or first person stealth games or anything like that, and this game just I've said this like same thing like about Persona and all this other stuff. If there's a game that I have a preconceived notion on, like oh I don't think I'm gonna like it or whatever, and then I end up liking it, I really like it after that. It's like oh this is great just because it
that
just
makes sense.
was able to get past that. Oh, we forgot to rate Stealth Bastard by the way.
We did.
Yeah, we never
I think
we
we.
never gave it
I
a scoring, huh?
swear we did.
No, he only scored Bloodstained. I think we said it was a good game and all that, but I don't think we give it a number score.
Hey, what do you say?
So for Self Bastard, I would have given it a man, it's like between a 3 and a 4, but I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, okay, 4. Okay, I thought you were saying out of 10. I was like, what? That game was good.
No, I was gonna combine the scores. Like if you give it a 5, both of us,
Oh,
then I'll
okay,
combine.
okay. I like that.
So
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think I want to give it just because the presentation is so good and like we didn't even really explore all of the game, right? So
yeah,
like I would have to say it's at least a 4 just because it was really well done and like I love the like ending with the little story piece to it and I feel like the game has more to offer than even we saw because we didn't play with the level editor. I couldn't download any community levels, so maybe something's broken. Um,
yeah, they could have ended
and
the
like,
servers maybe.
yeah, who knows? But I couldn't download any levels, and like, there's a whole dimension to the game of those hidden levels that I didn't earn any of them. So, uh, I'm gonna have to say it's a 4. Because like
Yeah.
I would definitely, no matter what, I would definitely recommend the game.
Yeah,
Like I think it's a great game. You can buy it for like $2 if it's on sale. I think I bought it for $1 when it was on sale. So
because I think the charm kind of pushed it over to a 4 for me. Just the charm of that
yeah,
game. So it's an 8 out of 10
I think
combined.
it's a
So
worthy score.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you've been talking for 25 minutes. So I mean, if you want to keep
Okay.
going, I could talk about SMT3. I played that. I made it to the Matador, which is a piece of shit boss. It is so fucking rough. But I mean, we could, huh?
What I want to know from you, this is the last thing I need from you. How the fuck do you stay so in the know about these games? Because I didn't know this SMT3 was being released. Like
Oh,
I'm just not up on this at all.
it was in a Nintendo Direct last year because they were talking about like they're doing a Shin Megami Tensei 5. So then during that announcement, they announced a remaster of 3. So that's how I knew about it. And then everyone, when I was streaming Persona 3 and 4, people were like, are you gonna check this game out? You should check this game out." And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Because I just wanted to
Oh,
see,
you
but I didn't want to see because I knew that Persona kind of stemmed from Shin Megami Tensei. So I just wanted to see where
yeah.
Shin Megami was. The I do like a lot of it. Like SMT3 has cool I do like the random encounters it has. Like there's a small indicator when a battle's gonna occur, but you can't avoid it. So you're gonna be stuck with doing whatever. I do love that there is conversational skills you can get where you can recruit the demon or you could just get an item, whatever. But just because you're talking to them doesn't mean you'll get what you want. So there's this one angel that was trying to get to my side, and it's like, all right, give me like 100 coins. All right, here, take 100 coins. All right, well that's not enough. I want 80 coins. Okay, 80 coins. Well, you know what? How about like you give me like a life stone? Fine, take a life stone. It's not gonna work out. I'm just gonna leave. And it's like,
Yourself.
fuck. Yeah, like they do that all the time, and it was insane. Like the
But
beginning
oh,
when I played the beginning of the game, every single demon I talked to was like, "Yeah, I'll join your team. Perfect." And everyone was telling me, "What the fuck is with this RNG? You've been getting all these demons you shouldn't be getting." And then like the last time I streamed it, no one was joining me. It's like, okay, but
that's pretty funny.
the turn cycle is pretty interesting though. I do like that, but that's a whole other thing to describe as well. It's a very in-depth system
Yeah.
because it
Yeah, it's
yeah.
funny. So I guess you stay on your Twitch. That probably helps. I gotta be more active on Twitch, and then like because like even games that I really want to play, I forget about it until I'm like, oh shit, that came out, and it's like a year later. I just don't even like. I just don't pay attention enough. I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna wrap up this recording. We'll see you guys
Okay.
next week for more Ghost Runner. We'll see how far we can get.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I feel like I might beat the game next time. I feel, but maybe not. Who knows? Let's see what happens. We'll roll the
Yeah.
dice on
We'll
that.
see. And hopefully I get better at it. We'll see. Maybe my button mapping will get me better. But I did only play one day. I only had one day to play it.
Yeah,
So,
because I think
um,
I think by the time you get to the end, it'll just get better. I think because
I
I
hope so.
sucked a lot too, and then like there were just these waves of enemies that I just ended up just mauling through, just like, and it just blows my mind sometimes where I'm just like going through an enemy is like, oh, there's all these people with shields. Okay, fuck them, and I just go through them. It's like, man, it just I'm just in this rhythm of like fast thinking now because of that game. So
Yeah.
it's just insane. Like,
I'm
what
gonna
are you gonna say?
I'm just gonna have to do what the kids say and get good.
Yeah, get good. I should show you this video about getting good. It's a pretty good one. But that is it for this video. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.